Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Meena every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, you hit the like button, share it with your friends, and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of this story. Thank you for your support. Jaydev joins me in this session. Welcome, Jaydev.
Good evening to all the viewers once again.
Yeah. So there's lots of news in store for you today. So shall we start with the Kashmir Files? Because since it's creating such a buzz, almost every day
Yes.
there's some news with regards to the Kashmir Files. Okay. So the Kashmir Files actor Darshan Kumar, he now hits back at all those who are calling it a propaganda film. Kashmir Files actor Darshan Kumar is right at the peak point of his career. He's been applauded for his phenomenal performance in the film. The actor who is enjoying the success of the film spoke excessively to Bollywood life, and he opened his heart like never before. We even asked the actor about the controversy around the film and his point of view on people calling a propaganda film, said quoted the media. Darshan said, I don't understand politics. I'm an actor who has played this character with utmost honesty. People who are not aware of what happened with Kashmiri Pandits may have different opinions, but I've seen real life videos and their first hand experience, and I was ashamed of myself. The first hand videos of the victims left me with goosebumps. Vivek sir has done a phenomenal job when it comes to research. He did even quizzed Darshan if he ever had opportunity to talk to Anupam Kher, as he is a Kashmiri Pandit, and if he shared the personal experience on the same, to which Darshan had said. So Darshan said, Anupam Kher is an actor par excellence, firstly. However, I didn't get a chance to interact with him so much as we were busy preparing our parts. But there was one scene in which Anupam sir told me that this is a real incident and it had happened with one of his relatives. Recently, Bollywood actress Swara and Gauhar Khan were slammed by netizens for taking a dig and calling this movie a propaganda. Now, Anupam Kher, who gave his heart and soul to this film, in one of the interviews had said that he hadn't played the character, but his community's pain. He even added that it's not a film that they have made, but a wound that can never be healed. Expressing his thoughts about the film not getting any support initially, he said nobody spoke about the Kashmiri Pandits. Nobody had any knowledge about the trauma they went through. It was Abhishek Agarwal, a producer from Hyderabad, who came forward for the movie when there was no one to support. So this movie is creating quite a buzz in the sense that people now have to, especially the ones who stood with the people who created all these atrocities, the people who were part of this antagonism and whatever they did to the Kashmiri Pandits, are now facing a lot of flack. And we're talking about parties like Congress who gave a deaf ear to what was happening or a blind eye. It was at the time of Rajiv Gandhi, and Rajiv Gandhi and Farooq Abdullah were a part of it because Farooq Abdullah released a lot of terrorists at that time. So it was a very dangerous thing that they created, an aura over there, and the way the Hindu Pandits suffered. I mean, it's part of it has been captured in this movie, Untold. Back to you.
Yeah. So coming to again the Kashmir Files, is that the Bollywood actors like Sunil Shetty are quick to jump in the bandwagon of the success of the Kashmir Files. So Sunil Shetty has praised the Kashmir Files movie, and he said that content is not just king, it's the kingdom, and it's a brilliant narrative, and performances in the Kashmir Files prove that good films work. And Sunil Shetty has joined the bandwagon of Bollywood celebrities and Indian politicians praising the film, which is based on the exodus of Kashmiri Hindu Pandits from the valley. And so this is quite interesting, as that they are doing, especially these Bollywood bigwigs, quick to jump in the bandwagon, and they want to whitewash their image after being associated with drugs, with calls from the NCB, and now after the SSR case and Disha Sadian case, and now they're trying to sort of dilute the Bollywood boycott movement by jumping in on or by piggybacking on Vivek Agnihotri's film, The Kashmir Files. That's my take on that.
Yeah. Moving on to Anupam Kher. Anupam Kher tells Kapil Sharma, I wish you posted the full video, not half the truth, about the Kashmiri Files. The Kashmir Files is based on the true stories of the victims of the Kashmiri genocide helmed by the Tashkent Files director Vivek Agnihotri. In an interview with the Republic, in fact, Vivek Agnihotri's wife said that she had interviewed almost 700 people with regards to this movie and had got 700 first-hand, of the thing of the narrations of what had happened at that time. So look at the kind of work that they have done. Now, days after ace comedian Kapil Sharma thanked veteran actor Anupam Kher for clarifying the controversy regarding the Kashmir Files team not being invited to the Kapil Sharma show, another statement from the seasoned actor has raised eyebrows. Soon after Kapil Sharma thanked him on social media with a video clipping of the Kashmir Files director, lead actors on a news channel talking about the former show, Anupam Kher has now tweeted back. He wrote, Dear Kapil Sharma, I wish you had posted the full video and not the half truth. The entire world is celebrating. You also celebrate tonight. Love and prayers always. In the full video interview, director Vivek Agnihotri can be seen maintaining his stand that they weren't invited on TKSS because their film lacked big stars, and the same was officially conveyed to him by the film's production house. Now, here, friends, what I think, it's not because they didn't have big actors. It is because the movie itself is against what the whole, group is against. Who owns this Kapil Dev show? Everybody knows who is behind it, and they are the cabal. And the cabal don't want the truth to come out with regards to the genocide of the Kashmiri Pandits.
And Meera has raised a very valid point here, is that
Sorry, here.
yeah, none of the Muslim superstars have, however, praised the Kashmir Files. So neither Amir nor Salman nor Shah Rukh Khan has, praised the Kashmir Files, right? So that is quite obvious that they have deep links with the underworld mafia and the neighboring country and Dawood Ibrahim, right?
Yeah.
So coming to the next piece of news is with regards to Anushka Shetty. Now, Anushka Shetty has opened up regarding the casting couch, and she said that I admit that the casting couch exists in the Telugu film industry, but I never had to face it because I was straightforward. I was never exploited. So she added, I have always been straightforward and frank. The actors should decide whether they want the easy way and less fame or harder ways and sustain for a long time in the entertainment industry. Not only in movies, but in every industry. That's what she explained to media. I can't comment on everyone's virtues or traits. There will be a few bad apples. However, I have spent the last 8 years working in the Tamil and Telugu film industries. So my first picture was a success, and I didn't have much trouble. So what is she trying to prove here? Is it that the straightforward artists are not exploited? Is that what she's trying to
See, actually,
say?
here, Jaydev, see, let me just tell the viewers that she was one of the actresses in Bahubali 1 and 2.
Yes.
Okay, and it's not that she is one of those very pure actresses, because we've seen the way she has behaved with politicians and with actors. So she's not very different from the people like the ones you find in Bollywood, as in Shilpa Shetty and all the others. So I don't know why she's talking about this. Perhaps she's not getting any movies, and she's looking for some attention, and it could be a PR stunt, because whenever we see, you're looking at the grapevine, you'll always find that she's sticking to Prabhas, and Prabhas also seems to like her very much. So people used to say that they're going to get married and all that. But that never happened because Anushka is like a butterfly who's been moving here and there. And so I would take this with a large bag of salt. So I wouldn't say that this is, actually, uh, what she's, trying to, cry about. So that, this should be about only attention and getting more films. Okay. Back to
So I would
what,
like to add a few more
yeah,
points. Is that now you can see that the Bollywood film industry is piggybacking on South Indian film stars. Like now you have Rajamouli. He's going to release a film with Junior NTR, and guess who's the heroine? It's none other than Alia Bhatt.
yeah,
So you can see how cleverly they're trying to sort of put Bollywood stars and mix them with South Indian film stars who are very successful and have a huge fan following in the whole of India, right?
yeah,
And they're trying to sort of make dilute the boycott Bollywood movement. So that's how the new strategy is.
yeah, absolutely. So with the the courts saying that, see, within school premises hijab will not be allowed. Now these people now are going against the courts also. Now the hijab petitioners are terrorists trained by a terror outfit, says the BJP leader. Their statements amount to contempt of court, said Suvarna, the national general secretary of the BJP OBC Morcha. Yashpal Suvarna, a senior BJP leader and vice chairman of the Udupi government Pre-University College Development Committee, has labeled the young Muslim girls who had approached the Karnataka High Court's intervention to wear hijab on college grounds as anti-national and members of a terrorist organization. The girls have once again demonstrated that they are not students but members of a terrorist organization, which is a PFI, I suppose. A terrorist organization from Hyderabad came here and trained them on what statements should be given in the media. They're disregarding the learned judges by making a statement in opposition to the High Court verdict, said Suvarna, the National General Secretary of the BJP OBC Morcha. He also told that their statement amounted to contempt of court. What should we expect from them for the country when these girl students call the judgments of learned judges politically motivated and against the law? Suvarna asked. They've only demonstrated that they're anti national. We're confident that the Supreme Court will issue a decision that is beneficial to the entire country, the BJP leader said. We're unequivocal in our belief and that no religion is more important than judiciary and the constitution. Several people had petitioned the Supreme Court to overturn the monitoring committee's decision. People claimed that the decisions of the committee were illegal and politically motivated. However, the same people sought legal recourse through the court system but have now demonstrated disrespect for the judicial system, he stated. Suvarna observed that when people tried to dissuade Siddharamaya to wear saffron, he threw the cloth away. But in the Urus, he does not hesitate to wear the cap that symbolizes allegiance to Islam. He reiterated his previous statement that only those who respect the law will be allowed to study at the girls' PU college here and that everyone else is eligible to be citizens of this country. He also stated that the next goal would be to create a Hindu nation and a uniform civil code. The Karnataka High Court on Tuesday had ruled that wearing a hijab is not an essential practice in Islam, upholding the state government ban. The court on Tuesday said that the prescription of school uniforms is a reasonable restriction. The state government, and the court said, has the power to issue a government order. Karnataka had witnessed huge protests amid the row in the last few months. Back to you.
Yeah. So coming to the next piece of news is with regards to Yogi ji, and after his successful election, and he's come back to power in a very big way, as you know, with a very good mandate. And so UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, he's known for his bulldozer, is back in action. And that bulldozer demolished the illegal factory and market of absconding gangster Badan Singh Baddo, and he freed the illegally occupied land. Police and officials of the Meerut Development Authority reached Jagannath Puri in TV Nagar area of Meerut with a bulldozer on Tuesday morning and cleared out the park which had been illegally occupied by Baddo and his men. The Meerut police spokesperson said gradually the land mafia had occupied it and built a building in the name of one Renu Gupta, and the Meerut Development Authority ordered the demolition of by following the legal procedure. Earlier, the Meerut Police and Meerut Development Authority had also demolished buildings worth crores of rupees belonging to Badan Singh Baddu. So he's already on the job, and it's quite. It's like watching, film where action is being taken instantly after he comes to power.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, moving on to Badrinath and Kedarnath Temple Committee. Now they disallow shooting of films in the temple premise, says they will examine the script purpose of the filming first. Chairman of the Badrinath Kedarnath Temple Committee, Ajendra Ajay, confirmed that the committee would sanction the permission only if the script and purpose of the shooting is authentic. On Wednesday, the temple committee announced that the shooting of films or songs will not be allowed in the temple premises which is looked after by the committee. The production house or the film institutions will have to submit the purpose of the film in writing, and the committee will give permission only after examining the purpose. According to the reports, the written submissions by the production houses will be examined by competent authorities of the temple committee, who will examine the movie script and the purpose of filming. This is probably after the locals in the area objected to a shooting of a song in the Narsingh temple complex of Joshimath. So, back to you, Jaydev.
Yeah. Now, I have one interesting piece of news. It happened a few days back. Is that there's a Bengali actress, Rupa Datta, and she has been arrested for allegedly pickpocketing money at the International Kolkata Book Fair. And the incident took place on Saturday night, and Kolkata's Bidanagar North cops became suspicious at the book fair after they saw a woman dumping handbags at the dustbin. When they checked the actress' bag, the cops reportedly recovered an amount of 75,000 rupees, and she failed to give a valid explanation, upon which she was arrested. Datta is a prominent television face in Bengali industry. She was detained and questioned. Several purses and rupees 75,000 cash were found in a bag, an officer said. And the women and this lady has been arrested in connection with pickpocketing, and further investigation will be held to find out if there are more people connected with this. So this looks very suspicious to me. In fact, it looks like they're trying to frame her, for some political uh,
Yeah,
things.
yeah, absolutely. So now moving on to a very interesting piece of news regarding Tehseen Poonawalla, who loves attention and comes across as a very hollow person in whenever he comes on news debates. Unlike his brother, he looks he appears as a very person who doesn't read much or doesn't have much. I mean, and that's why he's related to Rahul Gandhi in some way. Okay, so he is also the brother-in-law of Robert Vadra. Robert Vadra's brother-in-law, Tehseen Poonawalla, says his statements were misconstrued, claims that sex with industrialist's wife while he watched was part of a reality gig. Now, this is, of course, the famous Ekta Kapoor's Lockup, where this character is also there. So look at the way they've selected, the who they call celebrities. In no way is Tehseen Poonawalla a celebrity. He is only the brother-in-law of Robert Vadra. Is Robert Vadra a celebrity? Not at all. They're all connected to Priyanka Gandhi or Priyanka Vadra Gandhi. So let's look at what this guy has done
And
now.
he also told this shocking statement where he said that one of the top industrialist wife, wanted his wife to sleep with Tehseen, and and that was, he revealed it to Kangana in the lockup. So I don't know what he's trying to, is he trying, being desperate to catch attention by
Absolutely.
making some such shocking statements.
Yeah, so the lockup episode streamed on Saturday, March 12th, and Tehseen had revealed that a big industrialist once asked him to sleep with his wife. Days after Sonia Gandhi's son in law, Robert Vadra's brother in law, Tehseen, had confessed to having a sexual encounter with the wife of a top industrialist in the country, the Congress party sympathizer has taken a U turn to claim that his statement was misconstrued and it was nothing but a part of the reality show gig. Now, speaking to media, he said that the secret is age old and holds no relevance in today's day. He added that the incident was 20 years back and it was only a reality show gig for him. I sportingly revealed a secret because it was a fun part of the format of the reality show, and in the end, it's a game. So, in other words, he's saying that he's telling lies. He made the revelation following his ouster from the reality TV show Lock Up on Saturday. In the Lock Up episode streamed on Saturday, Tehseen had revealed that India's topmost industrialist once asked him to have sex with his wife while he watched. Without naming the businessman, he had claimed that the wealthy individual booked his nightclub for 2 nights and asked Tehseen to sleep with his wife in the industrialist's presence. As per the show rules, Tehseen Poonawalla was given a chance to save one of the contestants from being eliminated by revealing a personal secret. It was then that Tehseen decided to bite the bullet for his trans friend, Saisha Shinde, formerly known as Swapnil. He remarked, I was given an offer by the industrialist to sleep with his wife, and he had booked the nightclub for the weekends. His condition was that he wanted to see me having sex with his wife. He also claimed that the sexual encounter with the industrialist's wife took place prior to his marriage to jewelry curator Monica Vadra. Monica is a cousin of Robert Vadra, son in law of Congress President Sonia Gandhi. The Congress lawyer said that he confessed about the same to his now wife while they were dating. Tehseen added, Saisha is a friend, and I felt that my secret was very small in front of her story that she wants to tell the world as a transgender, which is why I did not think twice about revealing any of my secrets and used the opportunity for her benefit. On being asked by the show host Kangana about his sexual encounter, he claimed, I absolutely enjoyed it. The industrialist was at a distance. He was only watching. My only condition was he would not touch or intervene. It wasn't a threesome. He had only watched from a distance. He had certain fantasies which his wife and I played out for him. I don't mind even sharing that because there's nothing wrong. He wanted me to to treat his wife like my property, and he wanted to watch and enjoy the experience. I didn't care about it. He justified his act and he said he did not regret it. You can watch the full clip here. So now this is a way to provoke you to watch Ekta Kapoor's Lockup. The reality show has 16 contestants who are kept in pairs in different makeshift jails for a period of 72 days. Now here you will see very clearly, again, Ekta Kapoor is just Raj Kundra in another, in a female form. And just like what Raj Kundra was doing, with all his sexual movies, this is the same thing they're doing with live people.
Yeah.
I'll leave the line open, friends, in case you'd like to join in.
And I have
And
one
I'll
more
also
piece of news.
yeah.
So again, with regards to Kashmir Files, the Congress party accused the BJP government of seeking to spread hatred in society through the Kashmir Files and said India will not be run by films but by governance and government policy. And he also claimed that successive Congress governments had rehabilitated many Kashmiris and provided them with jobs and houses, whereas the Modi government did nothing for them except its rhetoric. And the UPA government bought schemes, packages, and gave government jobs to more than 3,000 families and built 5,900 houses and gave them to Kashmiri Pandits. In comparison, Surjewala claimed the Modi government had given jobs to only 520 families in 8 years and only 1,000 houses to Kashmir Pandit families. He said 4,000 terrorists were killed in the 10 years of the UPA government, whereas 1,419 terrorists have been killed in 8 years of the Modi dispensation. So this is again, Congress. I don't know what they're trying to save their face now that they're totally decimated in the elections, and they are trying to sort of cash in on the Kashmir files again, and
Yeah,
pin it
absolutely.
on BJP again.
Yeah. Uh, let's just take some of the comments.
Yes.
Karthik says, Akshay Kumar, I think, said Vivek is bringing back audience to theaters. Did he say he understood the plight of the people who suffered in the genocide? No, no, it's this Bachchan Pandey, which is hitting the theaters, and that's why he wants people to go and see it. But since Boycott Bollywood is still on, I doubt whether anyone will go and see his dumb film. Promtech Metal says, "Hello, this is Vijay. What Badrinath temple did is absolutely right. I want to point out one incident related to Kashmir Files. A famous Shiva temple in Kashmir known as uh, Marthand Mahadev Temple." Okay, we have to wait for him to continue. So meanwhile, we just take some other. Good evening, ma'am. I want to know if Indian law has any provision for wrong information from media. I have seen Barkha Dutt, NDTV News, that Kashmir issues are rich versus poor Muslim. There is, in fact, they even arrest them. But what happens is, see, in India, still people are very, very, the law is very, very relaxed, you know. So these people get away, with after abusing everybody. You've seen the way what's been happening to all these Rana Ayubs and, all these people. So uh, I'm just adding Shashi. Welcome,
Hi, sir.
Shashi.
Hi, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. How are you? Meena
Hi.
ji,
Welcome,
yeah,
Shashi.
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Good to see you again after some
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
See, a lot of
Yeah,
positive things are happening except in maybe Sushant and Disha's cases.
yeah, yeah,
So maybe, I don't know when we'll get to see the progress.
yeah.
Yeah, in one way or the other, I think we are seeing some of the culprits getting punished. So maybe there's some commonality between
Yeah,
Sushant, Disha and the other cases which they are being, yeah,
absolutely.
arrested or taken into custody or being
Yeah,
interrogated or so that way I think it's a positive news. But yeah, so we should see what actually happened on 14th of June and before that on 8th of
yeah,
June 2020. So that is still a question which has to be answered as such.
yeah,
So so till then, yeah, this yeah, as you said, Minaji, boycott Bollywood is there.
yeah,
And Kashmir Files, yeah, initially I was a bit disappointed that okay, yes, maybe that was the one common agenda for all the SSRs, though they were
yeah,
against each other also. But yeah,
absolutely.
Bollywood
Yeah,
was being boycotted left, right, and center. But yeah, now I see a lot of people are coming back to the theaters because of this movie, is what I gather.
yeah,
So I've not watched it personally yet. But yes, at least now, yeah, miss, what I miss, I've heard that okay, Vivek Ji has said that yeah, he will not use the money for, even for his own purposes. It will all be
yeah.
taken and then it will be used for the yeah, all the Kashmiri Hindus to return back to their home state. So that is
Okay.
the kind of noble thought which. So yeah, in a way, if that happens, yeah, I think we will see some this public money being used for a good purpose as such.
Yeah,
But yeah, anyway, so let's see how that things shape they take shape in the
yeah,
future with regard to that.
yeah,
And coming there also, I think obviously like how yeah, all the innocent victims who we are all rooting for, like how they deserve justice. Even the Kashmiri Hindus who ever lost their life, they
yeah.
also deserve justice. Whoever or not been, yeah.
See, Hashi, I don't know from
Mm,
which part of India you are, but see,
mm,
if you know, in Kerala there was the famous Mapla massacres.
yes, I've
Yes.
heard of it.
Now
Yeah, yeah.
it's very important that they make a movie on that so that people know that one night these
Mm,
people just decided to kill people, Hindus, left and right. Okay,
mm, mm.
and this was covered. This is one thing. Okay, the second thing is Marika, the movie. The Lion of the Arabian Sea. Who is
Yeah,
Marika? Marika is a man who has betrayed the Zamorin, the Zamorin king, and they are the ones who have cut the breasts of Zamorin women. And
true.
this is the movie that won a national award. Okay,
Ah,
and they just because Mohanlal is the Marika,
leading. Mm.
they have made this film such a huge success, and that also even before it was released, it got an award. So here also I see a lot of vested interest because this movie is made by the owner of Confident, okay, who's a
Mhm.
multi-millionaire. Has he read the story? Has he done any research?
Obviously, not. He's just trying to cash in on the popularity, right?
Absolutely.
That,
This is these are all traitors and they have been glorified. How come? I want to know who is the jury in the the national film the thing that who selected this movie. There is
that
seems
is
to be some
immaterial,
real
man.
hanky panky in that.
The jury is immaterial here because we know who's behind them to, to get all these awards. So it's
Yeah,
not the jury for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing. So, but yes, see, this one thing which which I'm a bit concerned about is the filmmakers have known the pulse of the audience now.
Yeah.
So just because Kashmir Files has been made here, tomorrow they might attempt to make West Bengal Files, Kerala Files, and so many other files.
Yes.
But I'm only dreading that, okay, if the production houses are those which
Yes.
we have been boycotting till now,
Yeah.
it could be Dharma or it could be anything else.
Mm.
So if they start producing movies, because ultimately see, they all they want is, yeah, collect as much money as possible,
Yeah.
so that it is plowed back into, yeah, I don't know, whatever activity which we are
See, there are
always
so many
fighting.
stories, Shashi. See,
Yeah,
when I was in Rajasthan, in Udaipur, the famous Krishna temple there. See, that
yeah,
baby Krishna, you know, actually these people had to save the deity, because
yeah,
the Mughals were coming and they were destroying all the temples,
right.
So some pandits actually saved this baby
Hmm.
and brought
Hmm.
him to Udaipur. And that is why whenever you go to the temple, you see the small baby Krishna, right from the morning till the night. First he's given breakfast, he's given his bath, and then he changes his dress, he has a lunch, and then he has, a dinner. So all these stages of baby Krishna's life is shown, even in a cradle. Now, can you imagine? This is only Udaipur. How many
Right.
temples in Kerala, were hidden because they were scared that these people would destroy all of them. Even the famous Padmanabha temple,
Yes.
was completely blackened. And only recently, when they started discovering that underneath it is complete pure gold. So
Yes.
last time when we went, we were shocked. The whole deity Padmanabha Swami is completely in gold. So it was such a
Yes.
thrill for us because all the time, it is blackened deities that we were seeing.
True. 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 Yeah. So
But
these things.
none of this came out.
Yeah. Yeah. So these are all stories which will be tapped, and because it has a certain public sentiment around it, I
Yes,
hope they don't start encashing on that and then go back to whatever they were doing before 2020 June 14th.
absolutely. Yeah,
So that is one thing which we have to be very careful about.
yeah,
So that's all I have to say. And coming to Maharashtra itself, I think, yeah, a lot of positive things from a political perspective. I think a lot of, yeah, now Malika has been, yeah, his bail has been cancelled. Anil
yeah,
Deshmukh's bail has been cancelled, and slowly and surely, I think the Vora Commission report also is being, yeah, I think brought to the fore in one way or the other.
yeah,
And I think, yeah, the NCP, yeah, head, yeah, and whoever were involved in the 93 blast, they'll all be brought to book, eh,
yeah,
maybe in the near future. That is something which might be happening. So hopefully we should see some good news around that front. But yes,
yeah,
Sushant and Disha is something which will always be awaited
yeah,
by all the common people, because whichever case comes forward, as Sushant and Disha's case also, he is highlighted by one and all. So that is something which is good news for us. But yeah, let's see how things go. CBI has
yeah,
to open its mouth now, I would say.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Astrodeep is with us. Astro, would you
Yeah.
like to join us?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, you need to speak loudly, Astro.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, you need to speak loudly.
Okay. Let's. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So actually, I started my career in movies only, Bollywood only. Like every Indian, we have this craze for ki Bollywood is the ultimate place to join this industry. So like 10 years ago, I joined and had a very good experience in working as an assistant director for all the big movies,
mm,
mostly all big production houses.
okay,
But ultimately after COVID, I decided to leave because there is so much of work and there is no union
yeah,
which helps for the assistant directors. There is only glorifying the actors. No,
yeah,
and because I wanted to become a director, I did shoot my short films also. But there is nepotism is so strong in Bollywood that we can't even think unless you have to do some shady things. So
yeah,
obviously we people who are good people, like who don't have that much of कि नहीं भैया सब कुछ ये करके कर देंगे नहीं वैसा. So what I think is definitely people are good in Bollywood, but the that every become has been blinded by the Bollywood movies. The last movie I saw was PK. After that, I never saw that movie. After that, I never entered any theater because the PK I went with my friend and I was like, "What the hell they are showing? Like, what is this? Like, how can these? Like, we don't have any other country for Hindus, and in this country, if we are seeing this, our own God being like humiliated and." I don't know. Most of the people must have thought they didn't know what to say, but slowly, I thought that I don't know if somebody will open their mouth and talk about this. But now here we are talking, and we are, we are it's like we are shaming them because that is very important. And the recently day before yesterday, Amir Khan's interview was there happening, that oh, he was crying that crocodile tears and all, and I was not there for my children and all that things and all. I was like, okay, he started again. The whole point is the India is being so much blinded. Like, I understand myself also, because I was also that blinded person who was running behind this thing and working. I mean, itna mein, if I would have worked on my own business, I would have done something very good
Yeah.
rather than doing for this films, working so late night work, going home at 2 3 o'clock, or risking own life for what? Some producer want to make movie out of our work, and I used
Yeah.
to get just 10,000, 15,000 as an assistant director. There is
Yeah.
no rule for anybody, like for the crew there is nothing, only these people are making money and we are not getting any. But fortunately COVID happened, and I did my astrology course, and now I'm thinking spirituality and why that happened and what everything happened. So so another one thing is, we don't promote our bhajan, kirtan and anything. After learning astrology, I understood how much it gives you positivity, how much dancing, that Kathakali is important, how much Kirtan is important, because Venus is connected to the arts. You know, people are having weakest Venus, and they don't enjoy music, they don't enjoy any raga, they don't enjoy any classical music because their Venus is totally damaged, and they are yeah, and they want, they're crying, why I'm not getting into relationship, why I'm not, because their Venus is totally damaged, and the movies want only that thing to happen. So our culture is such, our civilization is such, that they have kept each and every planet happy. You do havan does, if you do havan at home, your fiery signs get awakened. I mean, there's so much of knowledge. I can't, if somebody just makes, I'm thinking, but in future, if just on this, if you can make a movie, there's such a vast science that nobody can talk against us. Like, nothing, best is nothing, they're just they're just an ant in front of our knowledge. Like the greatest Parashara Rishi and our ancestor forefathers, Agastya Rishi, Siddhars of Nadi astrology. Oh my god, the science is that another level. There is no explanation to this kind of science. So yeah,
See
like
here now, what I'd like to tell you is, since you've said this, Shashi and Astro and also Jade. See, I made some documentaries, and I found that, see, there's nobody actually to finance these documentaries because it was based on real life people and their achievements. And one was Making of a Maestro, based on Kalamla Gopi, and he is a legend not only in Kerala but all over India for Kathakali. Now, there was nobody to fund it. Okay. And when we showed it, see, earlier, Gopalakrishnan had made a documentary which was black and white, but it did not show all the details. So we made a complete detailed documentary. And luckily, we received the 2010 award, from Kerala State Award for Best Documentary. But later, when I went on to make the second movie, which is based on Yakshagana, again there was nobody to fund it. And a funny thing is that, see, when I went to market my movie on Making of a Maestro, the distributors, the first thing they asked me was that, is there any sex in it, as in item girls, like Mauni Roy, or someone like what you call Urvashi Rotela, any dance items. So we said no. And then they said, do you have any comedy scenes? So I said no. See, it's a very serious documentary. It's documenting a person's life and his growth and his success. So then they said, we are not interested in marketing it. Okay, so that's what many people who try to bring realistic films or documentaries face, because they usually, even at, I believe, Kashmir Files in the beginning did not have any people who were willing to fund it. It is slowly only that they started. It was with small budget only they started this movie, and luckily now they are getting it back in crores. like 86 crores or something is what I heard is the last figure. So at least now, the audience has woken up. And I hope there'll be more investors who, don't mind spending on good films with good content, and good stories that expose the truth. See, it's not only the Mapla massacre, but it's there in Goa. Every part of India has got their atrocities, which have been covered up by parties like Congress, who never cared for India to progress. So it's very important that these stories come out. Yeah, back to you, Shashi.
Yeah, you're right, Meenaji. See, means I think I'm very hopeful of UP coming up with film city. That is one aspect of it.
Yeah,
To build a new film city, will take a few years. But I think, yeah, at least that industry can be established in UP, whichever wood it might be called as, and it should be recognized as an industry where okay, these people can go and apply for loans and all that, so that they can get the movies funded, and then yeah, they can release it to the public, so that at least we can rest assured that okay, yeah, this is the money that we're spending on each movie that is coming out from UP Film City is not going into the wrong hands. Okay, so right now that assurity is not there with us. Okay, because yeah, still the Bollywood film industry is in Maharashtra only. So we would never know for sure if it's going to the right hand or the wrong hand. But yes,
yeah,
from my perspective, getting to know the truth, we might yeah watch the movie and then get to know what all has happened that day
yeah,
in 1990 in Kashmir. So that is the aspect. So yeah, with Yogi coming back now, yeah, that's a very positive news I would say because yeah, this lot of crime has been curbed there in that state, and that also paves the way for the BJP government to come back maybe in 2024.
yeah,
Once again, maybe it might be Modi ji or we don't know who could be the PM as such.
yeah,
But that is when means I would say a lot of things will be set right. It could be either Kashmir or West Bengal because see ultimately what happens is the Modi government was successful in setting right Kashmir to some extent by
yeah,
abrogating the Article 370 and all. So tomorrow if Kerala or West Bengal or any other state in India goes to the same path, they will have that blueprint with them, saying that okay, these are the steps which we have to follow to fix the problem.
yeah,
So that is a bigger thing which we all have to see. They
yeah,
know what is the solution to such problems also.
yeah,
It could be drugs or it could be anything. So they know the yeah path to yeah maybe curb all of that and then totally bring this crime rate down in the entire country as such. So otherwise, yeah, till means, before 2020, where did we see of so many drug overhauls being caught by NCB? We didn't even know NCB existed at that time.
yeah,
So all of these positive things have started happening. So yeah, we are. I think it will be some time before we can say for sure that this is the way the agency should work to bring the culprits to book. Because I think far too many have been arrested and they are going out on bail also. Simply because yeah, the court will say based on WhatsApp chats and all that we cannot arrest them. They have to be caught red-handed for them to be termed as suppliers or whatever, with a certain amount of quantity and all that. So yeah, agencies will work through that because they can commit a mistake only once. But once they learn from that mistake, obviously they will look at more effective ways of bringing this thing down. So
See,
that is
also Shashi,
yeah.
see, what I
Mhm.
noticed was that today there were many tweets from Prime Minister,
Mhm.
speaking about how India can be brought into the forefront because there are so many ways in which India can be one of the leading countries in the world. So he was talking about a lot of the cleansing process and all that. So he seems to be
Mhm.
very, very genuine in wanting to change India completely. So here I also made some remarks saying that see, unless the mafia in India is
Mhm.
tackled,
Yes.
half the dirt of India will not be removed. It is very important that this has to be like weeds. They are so strong. And they have such a hold over people. And if it's not cleansed, especially
Mhm.
when if in the government itself you have people who are affiliated, even
True.
whether closely or remotely with the mafia,
Mhm.
these people have to be kicked out. Because if you want a clean government, you do not need people who are going to report what the government is going to do, to
Mhm.
these people so that they are prepared.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
look at the Bollywood actors, half of them are closer
Mhm.
to Pakistani ISI than to
Very
India.
much.
They are partying
Very
in
much, very much.
UK, going for their weddings, they're performing at their parties. So, which means all our secrets are being given to them. So, in case our prime minister is thinking of complete cleansing up of India and taking it to the forefront, the first thing that he has to do is root out, people who have affinities with such, forces.
Yeah, so see, means I don't think they will know the secrets which could be related to defense and all that. But yeah, they will be certainly able to influence the yeah, bigger, at least till 2020, they could influence the bigger Indian population also. But
Yes,
now that we have seen them through, I don't think they have that kind of an influence. That is why we see a lot of big stars, at least the former big stars, so they're trying to appease the public, maybe by praising Kashmir Files or I don't know what all. They are trying to meet the common public in places like railway station and all of that. So they are trying all of these tactics just to woo them back. But yeah,
absolutely.
obviously, yeah, we won't be supporting them because yeah, once they have lost the trust, it is impossible to get it back. That is one aspect of it. And coming to that attacking the problems, there's this rule called 80-20, Pareto's rule is what we call. If you focus on 20% of the problems, 80% of the solutions will come to us. So
Absolutely.
Narendra Modi government knows what is that 20% which has to be addressed. And
Yeah.
based on that, yeah, 80% of the problems of India will be solved as such.
Yeah.
So that is why all of these things are happening. So yeah, so that's my 2 cents on it, Neeraj.
Yeah. Hindu Saffron Tiger is saying, Minaji, it won't be long before the UP film industry gets infested by the cabal. We'll have to learn to thrive and spread our dharma through films like Kashmir Files. It'll be a constant warfare. Yes, it's not going to be an easy, walk through for us. We'll definitely have to fight at every stage, just like you said, Saffron. So it's very important that we do it, but the fight never ends. Is what is the message that you're giving.
But I would like to add to what Saffron said is that now, like Sir said, like Shashi Sir said, what if these films are made by one of the 7 production houses? Do we support it or not? That's a big question.
No, obviously not. I would not support it for sure.
Exactly. So they will use that tactic also. They will take this very sensitive issues and they will make a film out of it. Which sort of like the Kerala files or something they'll release, and then what will
Yeah.
happen?
And this is one reason why I think SRK, if you've heard, he has also got his own OTT channel now. So maybe he's not banking on the theaters and all that now, I guess. So maybe we'll see so many OTTs coming up, just like Netflix and Amazon and so many other channels. So yeah, they might be wanting to tap on the public money through those channels, but yeah, that is where we have to show our yeah. We should be very very pragmatic. There is what I would say.
Yeah.
Even if they come with genuine content also, till they yeah, they should not be misusing our money. That is
Yeah.
for sure.
Vivek is saying we need to clean and we need a clean and true film industry. This is our industry. They'll be kicked out to prison soon. No, Sushant will die in our country. Yes, that's the kind of future that we want, Vivek. Also, see, Shashi, you would have also noticed that, see, look at what Lockup is doing. It is the same thing as in Big Boss. They create
Yeah.
controversies, and it has all these spices that they have, which is the usual ingredients, to keep people interested in it. Otherwise, you look at the content. What is the content? She was saying that, see, this Ekta Kapoor was saying that it is nothing like ever something ever seen before. What is it? Everybody telling their bedroom secrets? Is that what you say is that so special about it?
I don't understand. Yeah. So, Miss, I think yeah, in one of the channels I was seeing that okay, it's not a movie as such, but creativity is totally dead in Bollywood, and
Yeah,
whoever is associated with Bollywood also, they simply cannot be imaginative or creative in terms of creating their own shows also.
yeah,
Whatever was there as Big Brother in maybe UK or maybe wherever US, that was those were copied as yeah Big Boss here. So now yeah, means all of this lockup and all that is what from whatever I can see. I have never watched it as such. He's a rehash of maybe same kind of thing. I don't understand what is the point in making these. It's like okay, I'm coming here. So instead of doing all of that, they can as well watch all of this. At least talking some sense here,
yeah,
right? So that they can get some It could be their moral, or it could be something related to culture. It could be something related to the current affairs. At least these things can be captured by whoever, because we are also talking only, but we are
Yeah.
making much more sense than that. They are, I don't know, with their bedroom secrets, what are we supposed to be? I don't simply understand that. So yeah, so as I said, creativity has become totally zero in Bollywood now. That is why we see so many rehashes of English movies,
Yeah.
or even maybe South movies getting rehashed into Hindi and all that. So yeah, that's how it is. Unfortunately.
Dual individual is saying, opportunists like Kangana were saying that the success of Kashmir Files has wiped out the sins of Bollywood. Should never trust such people. Yes, exactly, Dual. Because, see, Kangana just changes the way a chameleon changes. See, every time she wants some fame or an award, she'll lean on towards the right wingers. And then whenever she wants money, she will lean on Ekta Kapoor and her gang. So when she has her fill of finance, then she comes back to people like Vivek and says that, oh, your movie is so good and Bollywood is not standing with you. Then Kangana, isn't Ekta Kapoor a part of Bollywood? I mean, you're literally polishing her shoes. So aren't you? Isn't she a part of the Bollywood this thing? So why are you then working with her at all? Double standards. These are all very very cheap tactics by this woman.
And the
Yes, if
dialogues
you
are also
remember,
so
Yeah,
the dialogues
yeah,
are also so bad,
yeah.
like they are not paying the dialogue writer also properly. Like the dialogues are so bad that even the road sadak wala writer will write better.
oh God.
Totally.
No, no. See, if you remember, Kangana was once accused of maybe involved in consuming drugs also by
Yeah,
somebody.
absolutely.
It was just around the time of SSR and all that.
Yeah,
So obviously she's gone through all of that. And the
yeah,
company that she only talked to Aditya Pancholi, Mahesh Bhatt,
yes,
and so many others. So yeah, she knows in and out of whatever is happening there. But I don't know.
yeah,
Means, see, these people are never trustworthy, as you said, Meenaji, because
yeah,
see, Akshay Kumar came just before the release of Lakshmi. He said, yes, there is drugs in Bollywood, but how can I say I'll keep without keeping my hands on my chest? How can I say there is no drugs in Bollywood? So why isn't he going to the authority? Why isn't he helping them with giving whatever information he has so that at least they can progress? But nothing of that kind is happening. Just by saying that, okay, yes, I know the drugs is there and this and that and all that. What is the point? At least they should come forward as responsible citizens, if not as celebrities, and then help the law.
yeah.
So that is what should be their main responsibility. Okay, if they're not doing that, yeah,
and
then what is the? Yeah,
And
Ashna,
also,
please.
ma'am, that Akshay Kumar is coming with a Kriti Senon movie. So Kriti Senon, yeah, Kriti Senon. So I was reading the comments. Everybody was writing, "बाप बेटे क्या बाप बेटी का जोड़ा ही लग रहा है," and still he's working with the young girls. Like it was so funny. And Prabhas is also in Radhe Shyam, such a young girl. Yeah, comment section was like insulting, like how.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's what I mean. They showed some pictures of Shah Rukh Khan showing his, muscles, for the movie Pathan, and and his face. If you look at his face, he looks like a very old, tired grandfather. I don't know what. Just by building some muscles, you cannot become a hero. So these are things that they should get into their skull, but it's not going in. Because it's so thick.
yeah. I simply don't understand. See, 57. I think he's 57 now.
Yeah,
At that age, I don't think any of the heroes in the past, though they are, Amitabh was also, I think, 57, 58 when he did Mohabbatein and all that. So, yeah, that was the kind of roles he had picked up on. So, he had started playing the father role and this and that. But these people never seem to age out according to their own thing. I don't
See, another
understand.
point, Shashi, that I wanted to make is I'm very surprised that, when before Rishi Kapoor died, he was
Mm,
not very happy with the fact that this Ranbir, was with, Alia Bhatt. Now,
mm,
see, Neetu Singh has forged the relationship to such an extent that they are now going to get married. Now, if you watch very clearly the couple when they go to different events, you'll see Alia looks at him with so much of disdain. Like she has to be with this guy. She's forced to be with this guy. Now,
mm,
Neetu Singh, I'm sure, knows what Mahesh Bhatt and the whole family stand for. It has been very clearly mentioned by Kangana and even the daughter-in-law, also had mentioned this about how much of drug usage is, goes on, and the kind of, dirty, things that are happening in their
Uh,
vicinity. How can you, as a mother, you know, encourage your
mm.
son to have a relationship with a daughter coming from this family? I just can't. So you mean to say that you don't mind if your son becomes a drug addict, or that if he is in a family where even Sushant was scared of Mahesh Bhatt? You mean to say that you wouldn't
Yeah,
give your son voluntarily to someone like Mahesh Bhatt and his family?
see, I really don't know what kind of relations are there in the
Yeah,
Bollywood
yeah,
family systems, actually. See, they get to know that their children are doing drugs, but is there anybody stopping them? I doubt it. Even now, I think once maybe if at all the cases against them are dropped or something like that,
yeah,
they will not even bother to check where they are going, what are they doing, with whom they are
yeah,
spending time.
yeah.
These people never care, really, I think. See, this Aryan himself said to meet his father, he has to take appointment from his father's manager, Pooja Dadlani. So
Yes.
that itself speaks of so much. But yeah, has after that has SRK stopped shooting, he has continued shooting for Pathan and maybe whichever. So I don't think he'll be tagging along with Aryan wherever he's going or whatever. Even though Aryan is not supposed to leave Mumbai and all that, thanks to
Yeah.
the bail conditions and all that.
Mm.
But see, this to be honest, yeah, if he has to stay in such a huge house like Mannat, where people can go and get things for him whatever he wants, why will he have to leave the house also?
Yeah.
He'll have to stay back there only, right? And
Yeah.
I don't think either his mother or father will look at okay what he's doing after. He will just say go to hell. I don't care about what you want to
Yeah.
say.
Exactly.
You remember Arvas Merchant, the way he behaved with his own father. While this was after he got bail, right?
Mm.
Along with the Murmun Dhamicha. He was also arrested along with Aryan Khan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was banging his head with his hand and all that, looking at the way his father was trying to ask him to pose for photographs and all that. So that is the kind of respect these people have for their own parents. So I don't see Aryan also any different. Otherwise, they would have never even touched a drug. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is where they are. So they
Yeah.
don't really care. And yeah, yeah,
Yeah. In a lot of the events, if you look at Ranbir, you'll find that he looks phased out. He looks as though he's very, very high. I mean, to anyone, especially a mother or a sister, that's when
Mhm.
all your antennas should be up. What is happening to your son or your brother? I mean, at least you're closest to them. That's a point when you should stop them and put them in some rehab
I
center.
I
Yes.
worked in with Ranbir in one of the ad film for make for Asian Paint, I guess, in which he dances like Holi is
Yeah.
there or something.
Yeah.
So there is such a high tight security. Like for ADs, we have to go and tell the artist that the shot is ready. But there is such a big. Everybody's trying to protect him. What is he doing? I don't know. So there is so
Oh,
much of. I have never seen such security for any actor. Like.
oh, I see that.
Yeah, there are so many people, like whole bunch of villages there to protect him, like
My
to
God.
to not, it should be not a single photo should be outside. And yeah, so I was like, okay.
So that clarifies what we are saying.
Yeah, so
That's it.
these things are normal. See,
Yeah.
it's like an open secret that okay, they cannot perform without
Yeah. Yeah.
computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a given. And if
Yeah.
you remember Kangana Asil, though she herself was into that, so she said that okay, her ex-boyfriend was hospitalized because of an overdose and in Kokilaben hospital in 2010 and all that. So when we do a search, we will get to know who is that actor also.
Yeah.
But in that, they are saying that okay, they had some kind of an allergy to some medicine, and that is why he had to be hospitalized, and then he was discharged. But the real news is this is what she herself claimed.
Yeah.
So, it's like a how we get to hear that okay, yeah, in so and so family that person drinks, and so drinking has become so common these days. Okay, so
Yeah.
somebody heard that. So similar is the situation with Bollywood where drugs is like okay a commonplace. If
Yeah.
somebody doesn't take drugs, yeah, they I think thought that okay, yeah, this guy doesn't belong to our
Yeah.
industry at all.
Yeah.
So that is the reason why they are forced to go into that path, and whoever accepts that only will be brought up and all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, they are like ostracized and like how Sushant was not given opportunities and all that. The
Yeah.
same thing will follow for them also,
Yeah.
which is what has to change. So,
Yeah.
good thing is, yeah, it is changing, is what I see.
Absolutely. In fact, Yamini is saying today I've read the SSR Diaries, but Deepthi in Twitter was very shocked that Anushka Shetty also has connections with D-Gang. There's nothing to be shocked, Yamini, because the Telugu industry is equally very, very into all this. And that's what a lot of the Telugu people have told us, that just like Bollywood, this should also be revealed. Now, we would not say that all actors are like that, but I'm sure that a lot of them may be like that, because otherwise, why would Bollywood approach Telugu, Tollywood? Because if they are not hand in glove with them. Now, the very film RRR, apparently, for just a guest role, she was paid crores, Alia Bhatt. And she's not someone who can act for nuts. So what did she do in that movie? So it's all very obvious, Yamini. This is something I think we've already, got the feeling about.
Yeah, so all genuine actors are not getting opportunities, which is
Yeah,
a very
exactly.
smart thing. Actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, one interesting thing about this is like Alia Bhatt, she's featured in Cornetto ice cream, and she's also featured in Gangubai. When she doesn't look like the real person.
elderly lady. Yeah,
Yeah, and she's featured in almost 80% of the ads
ads,
Hmm.
because there's no one else, like because of nepotism.
and it's not the girl; it is the father who controls the industry. So it's very clear that if she's not given, then the father will be displeased. Then a lot of money will be chopped off. That's it. So it's very
And we
obvious
have
that.
heard directly from Rabia ji also, right?
Yeah,
That she
exactly.
was supported by him on the
Yeah,
day she
yeah.
went to see her
The
daughters
funeral.
here.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
it's
this
like
is
an open secret. So
yeah,
we know a lot of politicians also who have direct links with the underworld.
absolutely.
So yeah, these are all like open secrets only now.
Yeah,
It's
There,
only a matter of yeah, yeah, actually.
there is this director Ashwin Kumar. I think he was
yeah,
never able to come up. You know, he made a short film called Little Terrorist.
yeah,
And a few years ago, he was writing a script with Soni Razdan and on how on Kashmir. You know how his story will be.
yeah,
I don't want to explain.
right.
And I read the script and I was like, he was putting army in a bad light. So I was
Yeah,
called for costume AD,
yeah,
and I was like, and I didn't had any money that time because
yeah,
nothing. And I was thinking ki, uh, whether I should do it. Like I didn't know the script and all. But the
yeah,
moment I read the script, I said, like, this is such. How can they even think of making such movie? It was on a
yeah,
script basis. If pre-production was happening, and I said to my friend, no. And my friend was like, no, you will get to go to Kashmir and you will be able to enjoy. I said, no, I cannot do this with my country. I'm an army man's daughter. I
yeah.
am not that blind. I don't want money. And I refused the film. But after
Yeah,
some time, that movie didn't come out. But Soni Razdan was about to play a main role, and they were trying to get Alia, but for the little girl,
yeah.
he made Little Terrorist. I think it went for Oscars also.
And
Oh,
also, I think Oscars also see these people have infiltrated into it. I think Farhan Akhtar's sister Zoya is also a part of the jury or something, and that's why these films, which are absolutely, what you call dumb, are going into, Oscar. I was shocked, like the Marakyar movie also went in. I think Jaydev, some other movies also went in for Oscar, isn't it? Movies which we didn't even expect, So I'm sure they have a hand in this as well.
did Gully Boy go? I don't know.
Yeah, Gully
Yeah,
Boy
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Gully
Gully
Boy.
Boy
Yeah.
went and everybody was
Yeah,
laughing at everything that Eminem movie they copied. The whole script they copied. In my crew friend, like I'm a part of assistant director. Everybody was like, "This is bullshit. Like they don't give us the chance and they do this shit.
Hmm.
They send this shitty script to Oscars."
yeah,
And she won the Filmfare Best Actress for a guest appearance, right? I don't know.
yeah. So with this, let's end the session,
Then,
Shashiji and
yeah,
Astro.
Yes,
Thank you so
yes,
much for
yes.
joining. And Jaydev and I, we enjoyed the show, and also thank you for taking some of the comments as well. Good night
thank
to
you.
you. Good night.
Good night. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Yeah.